Hey everyone, Dan Dog Crypto. The market has exploded. That Bitcoin, the ETF that BlackRock and others are hoping to get approved. But certainly the buzz occurred when within the markets they spotted BlackRock ETF now listed on NASDAQ, the trading firm Bloomberg analyst. But as I've been saying, within the markets, we know that large money managers are in. That's why they've been running correlated to what has been the narrative of the markets. Remember, the wealth transfer has also created the silence. Anyone that has had, that is in, that has acquired any wealth, your large caps, your Bitcoin, they're in on Bitcoin. So certainly money enters into the system or money transfers from within the system. So certainly Bitcoin has had a run, which during the lull or the consolidation, the slow period, the uncertainties that were created, fear and time, because time is your most valuable asset when you come into the markets. And now Bitcoin has exploded, brought back excitement. But are you in these coins? Bitcoin has been around since 2009. Now, if anyone was open-minded and had a vision into the future, certainly has benefited. So I certainly want Bitcoin to succeed. But remember, the very instant that Bitcoin, now they say they silence you, first they ignore you. But what is really happening? Your biggest need becomes your biggest weakness. Why? Because that will silence you. So now the Bitcoin maxis, of course, anytime there's any disruption, anything different, anything other than Bitcoin, it's a shit coin. But which really becomes the shit coin if you're being silenced? So yes, the wealth transfer occurs. So Bitcoin is a disruptive, but cryptocurrency is disruptive. Within the cryptocurrency, are you in? Do you have your Bitcoin? Now, 33,800. What value do you get? Is it a one-time? Is it a three-time multiple? Do I hold on to it and wait 10 years? So yes, so that is an asset that you hold, you forget about it and hope. But anyone that has been early has already captured the wealth, still holding a position and supporting, which we want to support Bitcoin. But we're seeing now institutional money that has been in here, that has been manipulating the price, consolidating, where they're all running correlated until they're ready to move it. And that's why crypto fluctuates so much. So now you have your large caps. So now you have Ethereum, smart contract on Ethereum. That has changed everything. It's a layer one. Do you have your Ethereum? It pumped. Bitcoin pumped. It's at 33.8. Where does it go? Well, if money flows into it, but money has already entered into it, now they're creating the on-ramps to the world through your ETFs, which is the spot ETF. But do you actually hold that crypto? Not your keys, not your crypto. So now, is it a physical Bitcoin that you hold? Well, most people don't care because they just want to acquire the wealth. Ethereum, future. Will it an ETF take place? Yes. So now within these top tier coins, Binance ends up being the outsider. So there's disruption trying to disrupt Binance. Why? Because the controllers want to control all the on and off ramps. So they want to continue the narrative. Why? Because of the devaluation of currency. In order to continue, you have to devalue the currency, which means you have to print, which means you have monetary policies that government officials put into effect, which need money. And this money that is created now has to be sold. So you have to create the debt and it has to be sold. So now that's when your treasury bonds, or you have the Federal Reserve, the central banks. What do? They are the controllers of the money printer. The government officials are the ones that implement but loose monetary policies, these elected or appointed officials. Whoever touches the money that is created first generates all the wealth. And then it will trickle down. But now, as we search, we know the attack was XRP. And XRP does win within the courts. But you also have to understand that XRP and Ripple, who are they partnered with? The World Economic Forum. So who is behind? Who is within? Are they in alliance with Legacy? But again, the wealth transfer silence. So when we search for opportunities, we try to discover new gems that are creating a opportunity, that are growing the network, which is Metcalfe's law. The asset, the underlying asset, becomes the believer, the individual, the one who is supporting. So you create a mass network of believers. That is what cryptocurrency has created. It is the network effect. But this can be created over and over and over again as we search. But who controls the coins control the narrative. That is the key. So we search for opportunities. And within the markets, there are opportunities. That's why I stress we need to follow the new path. A new path is before the money enters into the system. Well, we've had certainly the brand Bitcoin. So we know Bitcoin, but when you search deeply, you have something that was created. Well, people laugh at this. Well, this was Harry Potter Sonic, which is at almost 13 cents. But this came out virtually zero. It launched. This has created life-changing events for those who spotted the opportunity, and it will do so. So yes, it's a ticker Bitcoin, Harry Potter Sonic, but what has it done? It's been massive. But the hidden message from within, for the people, we want for the people. That's the network effect. Now we had a Pepe that did a massive run. Well, now you have Pepe that certainly has come down off its high, which was a meme. So you speculate inside the meme. The odds of probabilities here play out. Will this pump again to 1 billion? Or do you search somewhere and say, okay, let's look for something that is getting traction? Well, now you create a narrative of a 2.0 Pepe, which is only at 5 million market cap. This exploded to 100 million. Now, can Pepe repeat? Remember, history does not repeat, but it rhymes. So now do you speculate and enter in? There are opportunities in crypto. They are endless. But fear prevents you from entering into an opportunity. There will be many. And some have won, and there will be many. In crypto, the winner does not take it all. Understand that. There's going to be many winners. But one will explode, two may explode. And if anyone was in the last bull cycle, understands this. No one talked about Shiba. No one talked about Akita. No one talked about Kishu. And then when it explodes, and they were fortunate enough to be in, certainly now they're experts. The memes will kick off, but also understanding that you want to have fundamentals. So these could do fantastic. So we don't know, but it perceived value. Yes, odds of probability. So now we search deeper. X underlines something that is occurring. This has already jumped, but can X project create something, creating the bots, the narrative of the bots, odds of probability, simplifying, finding the gems within. It may have a future. So your odds of probability at $3 million. Now, everyone is aware of Hex. Well, Hex has pumped. So now Hex certainly is down tremendously from where its high was. So either you dollar cost average down if you were a believer, or you sold and took your hit. So you dollar cost average down. Hex on Ethereum or Hex on pulsechain. Either way, the network is massive. So it supports their massive believers. So now within pulsechain. So now we search and discover opportunities in pulsechain, and everyone is silent. This is PZEN. PZEN launched on Ethereum, copied over to pulsechain. It's an economic economy. It's every transaction that is created in the network, a redistribution. You have a burn function that you're burning the supply. So when you burn the supply, your 2% redistribution tokenomics of PulseZen, you're burning the supply, and any of the holders, then you receive your PZEN tokens, which is the yield which compounds based on your holdings. The more you hold of PulseZen, the more you receive. So it's a fair economic economy. But this one green candle dramatically changes everything, and it is up right now. It is still early. Pay it forward wealth redistribution economy. In crypto, you cannot be closed-minded. This has the possibility to do that 10,000x, 20,000x. Why? Because the holders are holding and the pool size is diminishing, and as volume enters and more eyes see PZEN and understand the value of a reflection, per transaction because wealth transfers per a transaction. So everything in an economy is all based on transactions. Can we build a wealth redistribution economy that is deflationary? In the real world, a deflationary economy is not what is wanted. They want inflation. They want to devalue the currency because they have to pay the obligation. Who hurts? The common, ordinary person that lives day to day and does not have the money to put it into appreciating assets. That's simple. Pulsechain changes that. And within that, the social, the do good, there's a charity that gets redistributed. The oversight, but you're doing good for others. So now you have a charity. So the pay it forward system works. Why? Because it uses the economic energy of every transaction. And by doing so, wealth will be created. But fear. The fear here is when you're within a community, you don't talk about something that originated out of one community, which at that time was the Hex community, and Conrad Zan was discussing the Web3 pulsechain that would launch on pulsechain. And the closed-minded hexicans, what happened was they became controversial to pulsechain. For what purpose? Because Conrad Zan was an advocate to Hex. He is not a non-believer of Hex. He has created pulsechain to create yield off of transaction, the simplicity of the code. But when you look at pulsechain, there are many that are building on pulsechain. Are they traders because they're building on pulsechain when they offered sacrifices to create their projects? This project did not. It launched fair and organically. So now pulsechain is the opportunity, because any economic energy that enters into this will pump dramatically. So people could sit on the sidelines, be closed-minded, be tribalistic, and not. All it takes is one. And one is all it takes. And if you've been in crypto long enough, the calm before the storm, this could easily pump. But you want to create wealth and fairness for all. I'm a strong supporter of Hex. I support pulsechain, but I also see opportunities that I have mentioned, and there may be others. You cannot be closed-minded. Pulsechain still is this opportunity as economic energy enters into pulsechain. What has happened here is that it is starting to be recognized. There are believers. You stand tall. You don't cower down. If you've had any experience in life, if you've had any entrepreneurship, and if you've been beaten up, you never quit. You reanalyze. Stay strong. Pulsechain is the opportunity, and there are others that I have mentioned in addition to the ones that I support. But I will not be closed-minded, will not stay silent, and I will support the projects that I believe will do well as I see them. Thank you. Talk to you soon.